Good morning, champions. Happy Friday morning, coming to you live from the 5 a.m. club where we get up early and we conquer our morning to own our day, TGIF. The grind includes Friday, folks. It's not, thank God it's Friday. I mean, I'm grateful that I live to see another day. I always am. But when it comes to Friday, we can't have that I can take my foot off the gas mentality, because you wouldn't have that, if you owned a restaurant or owned your own business or whatever. You'd be gearing up, for a big Friday night and stuff like that. So having that mentality is key to finishing the week, not only finishing the week strong, but being able to carry that momentum into a Monday. Right? It's been proven in study after study after study that, more than 24 hours off of a particular task or skill set, then you start to diminish that skill set, right? And so if you were to take like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday off of PECs or anything like that, you're going to be more rusty, right? So the point of carrying that momentum into a Monday is not only pipeline and referrals and appointments and everything like that, but also just keeping your skills sharp. And two, just wanted to remind and reiterate to everybody today that everybody that we come in contact with, not just leads, but everybody we talk to, more than likely needs insurance. And if they have insurance, they don't have enough, right? I don't have enough insurance. I had that epiphany a couple weeks ago. I realized that I need to reevaluate. I need more. And so many of our clients, even if they have a small final expense plan, which some of them do, they haven't really taken the time to consider income replacement. They haven't really taken the time to consider what other expenses there are, or if they do have a mortgage, or if they do have multiple, all of these different things. And so it's just a reminder to make sure that you're really having that conversation so that you can find the need. And if you find the need and the need is wrapped up in love, then there's always the opportunity to not only help somebody, but to find that sale. And so make it your point today to get as many needs discovered as possible, right? And the key to doing that is to keep people on the phone. I used to play a game, and I've had many, many agents play this game, where it was, if I could get more than a couple minutes into a call, right? So this is eliminating all the, jerks that hang up in the first, 30 seconds or something like that. But if I could get a couple minutes into a call, so now we're verifying information, we've had some conversation on that stuff, I would then make it my goal to get hung up on twice. Now that sounds counterintuitive, right? Why is James trying to get hung up on? But the reason I had to play that game with myself is I catch myself all the time allowing others off the phone, right? I go back and listen to myself, and I'd realize that I would be like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry, now's not a good time. What's a good time next week for me to call you back? Or, them saying they can't afford it this month, so call them back next month. Or we got to talk to the child or the spouse or whatever. But I kept finding myself being agreeable to getting off the phone. And so I had to play a game where I was like, I am going to keep AIOing until they get frustrated enough and hang up, or they buy. And so that game ended up really helping me, because I realized that usually there wasn't the sale there, and because A, they were selling me, B, there wasn't enough trust built, right? So the know, like, and trust was critical to it. And C, they really did want it. It's just that fear, right? They're 76 and uninsured for a reason. So we've got to, in a kind, polite way, keep AIOing and agreeing with them, but continuing to push on, because there's really nothing to put off, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. And so that was a great game that helped me shift how I approached the average client. So those are my reminders on this Finish Strong Friday. Let's aspire to be better today than we were yesterday. Let's do it every single day. You'll be amazed at where you end up. Folks, higher answer rates Friday, real-time leads, live transfers. We got Saturday Sales Club rocking and rolling tomorrow. So let's make it a strong Friday, strong Saturday Sales Club. Sunday Sales Club is going to be hopping too. Let's make it a great one. Let's finish strong. Let's see your personal best week. And let's make sure we get those 25 hours. See you guys on National Go soon. I'm out. Woo!